Basically, when you took the Bible, the first chapter of the Bible always talks about God creating. That's the first introduction of God to each one of us. He didn't say, I am the God of love. He didn't say, I am the God that can forgive. The first introduction of God is God being the creator. And that's what I want to talk to you. Today, I want to sit with you and talk about God in the beginning. God in the beginning, He was creating everything for each one of us. In the same way, we are invited to create like God, to create things to glorify His name, to create like Jesus, new ways to preach who God is for each one of us. This is the social media bootcamp that we prepare here for each one of you. We are in the New Year conference and we want to create content to bless each one of the people of our conference. We want to invite you to watch this video. At the same time, you can share this with your members of the church and also invite them to learn about social media. Social media is something that we need to understand and something that we need to start creating. In the same way that God created in the beginning, we need to start creating for God's glory. Basically, what I want to do with you right now to start this presentation is to go to the book of Genesis and see 5 steps that God did when He started creating the world. The first one was His idea. He said, in heaven, let me create the earth for human beings. And when He came with that idea, He put that into action. And I believe that when we want to create content and we want to bless others, everything starts with an idea. Which ones are your ideas? What are you creating right now? What is going through your mind? What is that you want to create? Sometimes we have great ideas, but we don't take any notes about that idea. We don't put that in writing. We don't think about it, and we don't develop any project about those ideas. What I want to encourage you to do, like God, put your ideas down and try to accomplish those ideas. What is God telling you to do? What is your great idea? Share with me in this video what is that idea that you have, because when you write down your ideas, that's the first step to start creating something new. In every verse of the first chapter of the book of Genesis, we find God developing His plan, creating through a plan. He was doing something the first day, another thing the second day, and a different thing the third day. He was creating because He has a plan. Normally, when we have great ideas, we need to execute, but we need a plan to execute. We are not supposed to go there without a plan. The plan is like the map that we're gonna use to go through every step in our project. Like God, He creates something every day, we should create something every day. Basically, we need to emulate what God did in the beginning, because through the process is how we learn. Every time that you start creating something, you're gonna be novel at the beginning. You're not gonna know everything that you need to know. You need to keep practicing. You need to go through every process when you have a plan, because through that process, through failure, it's when we learn. And that's what I want you to do. Start creating, start failing, start doing something, because when you start is when you get better at something. It's like people say, with practice, you master things. 3 more things that I want to say about the book of Genesis chapter 1. God went step by step. He created first and then He divided. That was the creation at the beginning. In the same way, we should create, we should divide, we should change the things that we need to change in order to have a better social media. At the same time, we need to enjoy the process. The Bible says that every time that God was watching His creation, you can read with me in the book of Genesis chapter 1, verse number 10. And God saw that it was good. He was taking notes about His creation. He was noticing that everything was perfect for human beings. And that way is the same way that we should see our projects. We should take a moment to analyze, to see the results and say, this is not good. Let me fix that. This is good. And then enjoy the process of learning and also the success that you're getting through your project. And just remember, like God did, in the Sabbath, He celebrated the success of His creation. We also are invited to celebrate every success that we are having through social media. But maybe you are asking yourself, I don't have social media. I don't know how to do social media. Here in this video, I want to show you how to prepare the house. Before we talk about how to prepare the house, let me tell you that each one of us, we have an unfair advantage. What is that? Unfair advantage is that quality that you have. It's not quality, it's capacity. Unfair advantage is that capacity that you have. It's the gift of the Holy Spirit working through you. What are you good at? What is that when you do it, you just enjoy doing that? Something that goes smooth with you. When you start doing that, you know in yourself that that's something that you really like. You need to find out what is that, because through your unfair advantage, that you can do easily is what you should put out to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ in social media. When we do things like that, it's easy for us. Basically, we enjoy doing the content that is going to bless everyone that we engage with in social media. So when we know what are we good at, we start creating and we enjoy the process. We need to know that when we start, before we create anything, we need to prepare the house. Preparing the house is like when we have someone coming to our place, we clean, we prepare everything, we make some good food for the people that is coming. The same thing happens in social media. We need to prepare our house. Our house is our profile. When we have that profile ready, we are ready to share who we are with others. So right now, I want to teach you how to prepare the house, how to prepare your profile in order to have a better social media. When we talk about preparing the house, the first thing that we need to know is that we need to find the best profile picture for our house. The profile picture is the first thing that people see when they visit our profile. It's the looking of our profile. Is the face of our page. It's like the first impression that you're going to do with someone. That's why the first impression in social media matters. We need to create a perfect profile picture. For that, we have two cases. Number one, we have personal brands and we have corporate brands. The personal brands is like the regular profile that each one of us has. For that one, is probably our face. And we need to find a good looking photo. Not like this one. We need to find a photo that we can share with everybody and that we feel good when we share that photo. That's gonna be the first portion of your house. Is the impression, is the paint of the house, is how the house looks like, is how clean the house is. That's basically something that we need to work in order to have the best house, like the best profile for everybody online. The second thing that we need to know is that if you're working for the church and you want to create a profile for that church, you need to create a logo or take a good picture of the church and put that as the profile so people can find it easily. We need to create something. And remember, every company brand that we create, every profile for the church should be humanized. And that means that everything that we communicate should be through humans, for people, because people love people. People connect with other people. That's why sometimes it's hard to get more people in our house when we don't have, in our profile, when we don't have the proper humanized account, when we don't show our face, when we don't show who we are. It's key in order to reach more people to have a clean profile picture to connect with others. Other thing that we need to do is that we need to have a clear username. Sometimes we have long usernames. We have these big names with numbers and underscores, and it's hard for people to find our page because we have a complicated username. It should be something simple. It should be something that we can find and we can easily type in the search, because basically that's your keyword. The keyword means that is the way that people is going to search for you, is the words that identify your brand, who you are. That's why it's important to have a clear name when we talk about the profile name in our accounts. Another important topic that we need to cover when we talk about preparing the house, preparing the profile, is the bio, is the description of our page. It can be a personal page or it can be a church page. We should have something like this that describes this profile. It describes who you are, what you do, what is your experience, what is the value that you can add to the people that is watching, and testimonies that you can have over there. If you are doing a profile for Instagram, you can even add highlights that can communicate what you have already in your bio. Or if you have a church and you're trying to do a YouTube channel, you can do a short description of what is the slogan, what is the culture of that church. That can be easily done through the channel on YouTube and can communicate basically who you are as a church. And then when we have the picture profile, the username, and we have the bio, the description of our channel or our page, we are ready to start creating the content. How can we become better content creators? How can we communicate who we are as a person or as a church? Number one, we need to start knowing ourselves. Like I said before, who you are. What is that you are good at? What is that God is using you to do right now to bless others? That's what you need to share with the world. Something else that you need to do is that you need to define who are you trying to reach, how that person looks like, what is the age of that person, what is the condition of that person. It's someone that is spiritual connected, or is someone that is lost and they don't know anything about Christ. It's someone that is in between, fighting every day the spiritual life, and they are trying to look for new devotionals, new spiritual guidance. We need to know the age, the spiritual condition. We need to know how that person can be connected with us in an easy way through social media. When we know those things, it is easy for us to create content that can bless these people that we have in mind. The same applies to the churches. We can have a special program for kids. We can have a special program for youth. And we can have a special program for adults, because every age is different, and the way that we communicate our programs or the way that we handle social media for every generation is different. But let me tell you something. We have kids online, we have young adults online, and we have adults online. Everybody is using their phones to reach out, to connect with others. Everybody is looking through social media when they need to know anything, when they want something. And what about if we find someone and we share the gospel of Jesus with that people? I think that will be a blessing for them. That will be something that can transform and change with the power of the Holy Spirit the broken heart of someone online. Sometimes people wonder how they can share what they know online. Sometimes people wonder how they can engage with more people, how they can share what they believe. Basically, what I tell people every time that they ask that question is that we need to simplify our message. We need to simplify, make it simple, make it something that people can understand, make something that people can just connect with that easily. We need to create systems so that we can easily recreate what we are doing, and we need to go with the basic of the basics to share in social media. When we want to engage with our community, we need to love our audience. We need to love the people that we are trying to reach. It's basically the same methods that Jesus used when he was here in the earth. He was walking in every town. He was moving from one place to the other. But in every place that he showed up, he was showing compassion for people. He was showing love to each one of them. Jesus loved his audience. In the same way, when we create content, we should love our audience. We should bring them the love that Jesus is giving us, and then multiply the gospel and multiply that love to other people. So in 1992, Gary Chapman wrote a book. He outlined 5 different ways that romantic partners express and experience love. He said, number 1, words of affirmation. Number 2, quality time. Number 3, giving gifts. Number 4, acts of service. And number 5, physical touch. Are you using these love languages to communicate your love to your audience? Which one are the one that you use the most? Let's try this exercise. Please, I want to invite you to write your answers for these questions. Number 1, have you expressed your love to someone in the last 7 days? What do you request most often from your significant other? Your loved ones, like family. What is that you request from them that you want to have in order to feel love? Please answer the questions. We tend to naturally express our love in our own love language. So, In order to discover our love language, we must first simply observe ourselves. Chapman theory says that each person has one primary and one secondary love language. We should use these languages when we communicate to our audience. We should say words of affirmation. Just remember the people, who they are, how God loves each of them, how they can do something that day, how they can be blessed listening to the Word of God. We can spend quality time praying for them, inviting them to be part of a live session that we're having for our channels. If you are watching this video and you watch this video till the end, I want you to answer this question. Tell me which mic is the one that you prefer to use when you create content for social media. And we're gonna provide one for the first person that answer that question in this video. Other things that we can do is that we can do acts of service. Basically, that's what the church does every time. We serve the community. We serve the people around us. And we are invited as well, as members of the church, to do acts of service for the people around us, for the people in the church, for our friends and family, for the kids in the school. When we show that to the people online, we are basically communicating that we love that community and we want to invite them to do the same, and that we love them in the way that we share the gospel of Jesus. And the last one, the physical touch. When we hug someone that is in need, when we spend time with the people that we love, these are 5 ways that we can use to love our community. We are invited to start creating content, to know ourselves, to bless the community that we serve, and also to share Jesus Christ to the people in the world. If you're ready to start creating content, I want to share with you 5 things that you should avoid every time that you go to social media. Remember, you have your unfair advantage. You know that you need to prepare your profile to welcome the people that is going to visit you. And this thing that I want to say right now to you is the things that you should avoid, and basically I'm gonna give you a gift, the things that you should do instead. So you need to stop posting square posts. Those ones 1080 by 1080, stop that for a moment. Now what I want you to do is to create the biggest size that the platform can handle. For example, for short videos, vertical videos, we're gonna use 1080 by 1920. And for those pictures that we want to share, or those carousels, or those photos that we want to share, we're gonna use 1080 by 1350. Those are the size that we're gonna use for now. So I'm basically telling you, don't share something small, share something big that people can watch and enjoy, and that we can have the attention of the people when they are looking to their phone. Because the more real estate you cover on the phone, more likely people is going to pay attention to what you have to say. Remember, simplify your message and share that in this type of setup in order to reach more people. Normally, what people do when they are looking through social media, they scroll down and they go up in their phones. And when they are going up, they stop to read the title of the video. So never post something without the title. Always put the title, because when we have the title in the video, basically what we're saying, we are talking about this topic. And when we are clear in the topic that we are talking, people that is in need of that topic, someone that is looking for that topic, can be blessed. So never post a video without the title, because when we don't have title, we don't connect with the people that is needing that type of content. Something that is really important when we're trying to create, when we're trying to connect with our community, when we're trying to reach the people around us, we need to create questions. And we do that through our stories. Basically, stories are content that we share online, and that content is going to last for 24 hours. And the way that I encourage you to start your stories of the day is asking a question. And then you can do a survey, you can do a short video, and then you can answer the question of the beginning, because people is going to watch their phone through the day. So basically, every time of the day, every 3 hours, you are showing up and people is watching what you're doing in your page. So that's basically the idea. Share your stories, share what is going on during that day in your church, in your life, and then people is going to connect with you in your daily basis on the things that you are doing that day. So basically, we have 4 types of content that we share. We share informative content, entertainment for people, we share news, and also we share something funny. I don't know which one you like the most. Sometimes I love to watch funny things online. Other times I like to watch the news and see what is going on in the world. Sometimes I want to educate myself. So we need to choose what type of content we are sharing that day. And we can, as a church or as a personal brand, we can share all type of content. We can be funny about some things and we can enjoy those things with people online. We can share the news of the things that are happening in our conference or the church or our life. And also we can be informative. We can teach, we can share something that can give value to the person and that person can learn from that. When you do that and you have a clear cover or your videos or whatever content you are sharing, people is going to engage with that type of content. And basically what they're gonna do is they're gonna save that video, they're gonna like that video, and they're gonna share that because that content blessed them. And that's the way that we should aim for our videos. We should try to engage with them in whatever way possible. And the last thing that I want to say about how to create better content for social media is that we need to invite people to do something with the video that we are sharing. If you talk about that every day in the morning, we should wake up and search for the presence of the Lord. You need to invite people to do the same. I want to invite you to open the Bible and search for the presence of the Lord. Let Him to speak to you. Or maybe you want to tell the people, I want to pray for you. I want to bless you with a prayer right now. I want to pray for the people that is fighting something. I want to pray for you that you are fighting that disease, that battle with your family or your friend or your work. I want to pray with you. And then you pray. But at the end of the prayer, you can say to them, and I want you to pray for yourself. Pray today and ask God to be with you. And that's a call to action, something that we do to invite people to take action with the video that we are doing. That's really important because at the end of the day, we share this with the people. We share the gospel of Jesus with the people, but we need to invite them to take action, to do something. And that's the invitation that I want to do for you with this video. I want to invite you to start creating something, to prepare your profile, to work to bless others through social media. Today, we have a great opportunity to share with others what Jesus is doing with us. Here at the New Year Conference, we are ready to serve, to help you. If you have any question, if you want us to help you, you can call the conference. You can reach out to us through every social media. We are here to serve our conference, our members, because this is the New Year Conference. God bless you.